I think I have a lot of empathy for people, I think, especially when I'm interacting in person. I'm always willing to have those conversations with people. I know that for a lot of people who have been in the queer community for a long time, or even minorities, I know that it can be hard sometimes to have to educate people all the time, right? I consider myself to be a volunteer's tribute in that regard because I know if someone hadn't educated me, I'd still be there. And so for me, having those conversations and like maybe giving somebody something they don't know or explaining a perspective they haven't heard before, I'm very willing to do that. The place that it gets hard for me is when you mentioned the comments, my art, and I know Candy love them so much, and I know that they've dealt with this too. I mean, they're getting death threats for their art, and I put out the Hell is Real video. It was kind of an accident that that video even got made. We were shooting promo in that space, and I said to my friend who's a photographer, I'm like, what if we just shot a music video? Like, let's just do it. And so I didn't really expect it to kind of get as much attention as it got. And I knew the song was going to be controversial, but the thing that kills me is I have hundreds and hundreds of comments on the video now, and a lot of them are very aggressive, and I've had to report some of them that have been, violent threats. And I, one gentleman just commented on there and said gross or something like that, and he came back later and he was like, hey, I saw all the other terrible comments on here, and now I feel bad, so I just wanted to apologize. And I responded to his comment, and I was like, I'm not even mad. I just want to know, like, why? What do you expect to get out of this exchange? When you leave comments like this on my art, what does that do for you? And there is this thing that I don't understand, because even when I was an evangelical, and trust me, I was the kind of evangelical where my dad took us to see the Book of Mormon, believe it or not, because he thought it would be funny to laugh at other cults. And we stood up and walked out about a quarter of the way through the musical because he was so offended about the Fuck You God song. We stood up on Broadway and walked out of the theater. And I took my little ass on Facebook and put up a little post about, this is so disgusting. I can't believe that anyone would make a fucking musical like this, right? And like, I was that person, but I never went on people's individual pages and just left horrible comments like this. And so like, I just can't even really understand what they're trying to do or what the point is. And I don't understand where the urge to harm people comes from, and that's what I'm trying to understand. And that's what I don't really have empathy for, is when you are going out of your way to harm someone. I'm sorry. Like, I can't get on board with that. And that's what you're doing. And so I don't know. It's a hard balance, because there needs to be consequences when people are awful to other humans. We need to hold each other accountable to be, empathetic and kind. That's what keeps society together. But at the same time, like, I don't know.
I tend to have less respect for statements than I do questions, like, or a statement without a question attached to it, where it's like, I don't see this, but explain to me why this is important to you. Or like just commenting gross or like, what a loser, whatever comment people are saying. It's
You'll never be famous. You sold your soul to Satan for nothing. That's my favorite.
And it's always people that are, the petty part of me is like, you have way less of an influence than I do. It's like I've built something way bigger than your platform. You have 2 followers and no profile picture, but okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's just interesting. I think that the desire to like essentially virtue signal, where it's like, I condemn this, and it's the group that calls out the left for virtue signaling, or like liberals for virtue signaling. But like sharing something with a verse and saying like, I condemn this, is the epitome of that, and all that to say, both sides do it, but 100%. One side's a lot more open about it.
100%. And I think, don't get me wrong, I do not think the Liberal Party does everything right all the time. And I don't think we as liberals do everything right all the time. The difference is, I'll say that And I do not think conservatives will say that. And I've seen it. They get so defensive and it's so delicate about everything. And this urge to be a martyr is very interesting to me. But the thing is that I wanted to say, and I hope everybody who left a comment on my video watches this because I really want them to know this. This song is not about all Christians. I have dear friends of mine who still are Christians, who I love, who have been good to me since I came out, who have cared for me, who follow Jesus. I do, and I love them. This song is not about those people. And the frustrating thing to me is like to comment on that art and not read the lyrics, to not look at the song. You know, it blows my mind. This song is about people in positions of power in high control religious environments or in any religious environment who use their power to hurt people. And we see it happening in churches everywhere. And if you deny that, then you're crazy. Like, I literally just read a story the other day about a pastor who was abusing 16-year-old girls. Every single day a new story comes out of this kind of abuse happening. And so don't tell me that there's not an issue, because there is an issue, and my art points that out. And if you feel triggered by it, you need to look in the mirror, because my Christian friends love the song because they see that issue. They know that issue is there and it's something that needs to be talked about. And so the fact that you come to my page and you say, why are you generalizing all Christians? Why is this song about all Christians? It's not. It's actively not. And that is so frustrating to me. That piece of it is something that really grinds my gears, you know?
Yeah.